Hey everyone, and welcome to ScrapbookPal's YouTube channel. My name is Safia from Stampin' with Safia, and today I'm going to be using the Honeybee Lovely Layers seasonal frame dies and the seasonal sentiments. And this stamp set, this die set is actually very versatile. We've got the window here, that's the main element, and then it's got birds and pumpkins and leaves and other things that you can add on to make a really cool window frame scene. I also got these sentiments. They're you can use them year round. It's got like spring greetings, happy holidays, heartfelt hello. I love that you can just use it all year and not just for Christmas or the holidays. So these are the dies that I'm going to be using for my card. I've got the window, the bird. The bird has three parts. So there's a body, that's the belly, and this part here is the wing. I've got a little border of twigs and some greenery there. This piece here is for the nest. I'm going to do some berries and that really big frame of greenery. I also picked up the Altenew Shimmering Shore glitter cardstock. It comes in 4 different colors of green, and they're just beautiful, and I thought I could use these for the layers. So these are the colors I've chose to die cut my dies in. I'm going to do 2 poinsettia flowers, some berries, and the birds. So for the birds I've used 3 different colors there, and then just a sand-like color and some brown for the nest and the acorn as well, and then that really pretty green shimmer cardstock for the frame. And now I'm just going to go ahead and die cut all of this. So here I am back with the pieces that are die cut, and I am going to add a little bit of dimension to some of the pieces there, like the bird, the acorn, and the flower. And so I'm just going to move the rest of the dies to the side. And now I'm just going to grab some Copic markers to enhance these die cut pieces. So I've got my R37, and I'm just going to add some shadow to those berries, and then just a little bit on the side, nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to take that same marker and add, there's just some detailing on the belly of that bird, and so I'm just filling it in with that marker. And I'm also going to add the marker to the poinsettia flower. There's some lines in there that I'm just going to fill out. Just use the very tip of your marker to do this part. So after this, the acorn that's sitting there, I'm going to use E47 to add some detail to that. And I'm just going over the already detailed lines on the acorn with that E57 marker. And then I'm going to take the chiseled end and just brush it all around the edges just to make it look darker. Then I've took N4, and I'm just adding, again, just some lines to that bird's wing. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the bird together. So I'm just using my Tombow liquid glue. I'm just going to put a little spot, and then I'm going to layer the red belly piece on top. And I'm just lining it up using the tail on that bird. That's, if the tail is lined up, it will be lined up everywhere else. So now I'm just going to add the gray wing. I think that just adds a really lovely layer to that bird. I love that it's 3 colors. Then I'm taking N6, and I'm going to add some color to the beak and put a dot in the eye to make it look alive. And now I am ready to put my poinsettia together. So I'm going to put the darker color in the back and then layer that lighter red color on top. Now I have a panel here that's going to go underneath my window frame, and I'm just going to go ahead and add some clouds to that. So I'm using Lawn Fawn's Cloudy Stencil and some Salvaged Patina Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and add those flower shapes, and I'm going to rotate the stencil as I go just so it looks a little bit different everywhere. Near the bottom of the of that paper there, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the color on its own so it doesn't look so white at the bottom. Now I've took that same ink and I'm gonna add some watercolor splatter. I'm also going to get some acrylic ink in white and just splatter that over the top as well to make it look like it's snowing in the background. And that's the background that I've created. So for my panel, I'm using this wood grain designer series paper that I have in my stash. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some liquid glue and then center this right in the middle of that panel. I'm just making sure to be careful so I get that perfectly lined up in the middle of that wood grain cardstock. I also noticed that the edges were raised, and so I just took my bone folder and flattened those down. So now I'm just taking my Tombow liquid glue and just putting in some dots onto that frame so it doesn't spread everywhere, and then just lining it up over that, that cloudy window. So now we're going to start to assemble the rest of the card. I'm just going to take that glittery dark green cardstock and add that as the first layer onto my frame. I'm just putting little dots of glue, not spreading it or anything, and then just aligning it on the card and using a clear block to hold it down and put it into place. Next, I'm using the teal green little sprigs, and I'm going to layer those over top. I'm only putting glue in the center as I put that on, just so that the ends still kind of fold up and give that card a little bit more dimension instead of laying just flat. So for my acorn, I'm going to also lay that flat. I'm just putting some glue on and then putting it down into that corner, kind of facing towards the left. Then I'm going to take my poinsettia and add a foam square and put that kind of over the acorn. And now it really looks like that poinsettia is sticking up off of the card. And I really like that look. So there was a little dark green leaf, and I'm just layering that under the poinsettia as well. So now I'm going to start to assemble the nest. I'm going to start with a dark brown color for the bottom, the really long piece, and I'm just going to add glue to the center of that nest and glue it down more towards the left side, not right in the middle. Next, I'm going to take that sandy colored piece of die cut, and we're just going to layer that in the corner of the window. So just again putting glue in the center and not really on the ends of those vines or twigs or whatever you want to call them. Next, I'm going to arrange that little piece of leaf. I think I'm just going to use the liquid glue for that as well, so that because it's already pretty lifted off of the card there. And then I'm going to take my bird and layer that over top. I did put a foam square at the top and then just some liquid glue on the bottom, because the bottom did not need to be lifted off of the card, just the head did. So the next thing I'm going to do is add a little, or I'm going to add the berries, and I've already kind of laid out where I wanted them, and I'm just putting a dot of glue underneath. For the top one, I did put glue on the berry itself, just because when I was going to glue it down, the leaves, I couldn't put it on the leaves like where I wanted it to be. So I'm using a piece of dark green cardstock for my card base, and I'm just going to go ahead and flatten it with my bone folder. There was a little bit of a crease in the corner there, and so I'm just trying to get that out. And then I'm going to layer my focal panel right on top using liquid glue. The nice thing about this is if you mess up the centering, you can still kind of wiggle it around and without having to actually rip the cardstock off. I have done that before. So now I'm going to add the pearl to the center of that poinsettia. This is just some pearl embellishments that I had in my stash. And then for my greeting, I'm going with Happy Holidays, and I'm using that teal kind of green color to stamp that because it matched so well with the leaves behind the poinsettia. So I'm just gonna use my matching dies to cut that out. I do like to cut my greeting out this way, and so having the dies was a bonus. So I've put some foam squares on the back of the Happy Holidays, and I'm just gonna glue that in the middle of that window, just lining it up and making sure it's straight. I debated putting twine under the greeting, but I didn't like the way it looked. So now I'm just adding some snowflake embellishments on that window part just to give it a bit of pizzazz. And that's it. That's my card today. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please like this video and subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.